welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. And I'm almost getting there. I've started looking at some gigs that I can apply for. Haven't actually applied for any, but I am starting to look at them. And one struck me as quite interesting. I mean, it is a nice little gig. I have done it before, so I'm not going to badmouth them too much. But I do think they're being a bit cheeky with their advert this time. They are basically going to do a promotional video for their night, which is great. You know, they're investing in it. And then you realise they want quite a lot of comedians. They were going to do 2, I think. And I think there was 20 spots. So, you know, quite a lot. But they're asking for 20 comedians, as I say. And they want you to bring 2 people. And you just think, hang on a minute, it's my skill set. It's my material that I've worked hard on, practiced, written. And you're just going to use it in a promotional video. And not only that, I've got to bring the audience for you. I just thought it was really cheeky. Like I say, it is actually a gig I've done before and they are lovely. So I won't criticise too much. But personally, I won't be applying for that. It did make me think, though, when I finally get my night up and running, which is one of the things I would like to do in 2024, particularly as I've done one of my resolutions already. I made a junk journal and it was crap. So I'm not going to take that forward as a hobby. I didn't enjoy it. It was too much mess for me. Chopped up bits of paper everywhere and the output was just rubbish. So that's enough of that. I need to get on and do one of the resolutions that I forgot to put in, which is set up my own comedy night. And it did get me thinking, actually, that that's not a bad idea, doing a promotional video. And I obviously would like to have comedians come up and do their best for me and record it and use bits of it, not all of it, obviously, but bits and pieces. But I don't think I'd make them bring their own audience. I think that's just going a little bit too far. But hey, you never know. We will see how far I get with that. Other than that, I don't have much creative news. I do have a funny story about not being able to get off the tube and getting stuck and having to go round to Liverpool Street Station, which was most annoying. I went to Romford yesterday and caught the new Elizabeth line. I've only been on that a couple of times before. Well, yeah, I don't know, 3 or 4. And most of those times it's been delayed or there's been problems, which is interesting. But leaving that one aside, well, no, I guess this is another example of a problem. It basically got to Whitechapel, which is where I get off normally. And there were a family with lots of cases and they were stood and they were struggling trying to get off. And we're all, this whole group of us patiently waiting behind them. Next minute, the doors just closed. So they got off and we were stuck. And that was it. I had to go all the way to the Liverpool Street Station, which was a pain. I don't like that station. I just don't like that station. And by that, I mean the tube station part, because it's just too difficult to get on any tubes for some reason. I don't know why. There's certain stations where the tubes take longer to get there. I know that's impossible, but it's true. And that's one of them. So that's basically been my week. I don't have to go to Romford ever again, to my knowledge. But, you know, never say never. I have to say, Romford does bring back memories. I've probably spoken about this before. But I think I was probably about 14 when a friend of mine, 14, maybe a bit younger, I don't know. Me and my best friend at school, we had a coach trip to Romford to do Christmas shopping. So, and I'm desperately trying to remember what Romford was like. And I don't know that it's changed a huge amount. Obviously, all the shops have changed. But yeah, I get the feeling that actually the setup is not that dissimilar as it was then. No, happy days. I even listened to some 80s music today. Proper throwback. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle anymore. Much love and gratitude.